What if I told you Black history didn't just happen, but that it was pushed forward by Black women who refused to move when the world demanded that they shrink? Because when we talk about Black History Month, we can't just keep it surface level. Not when the truth is this. Some of the most heroic, controversial, and culture-shifting moments in American history were carried on the backs of Black women. Women who, at that time, were underestimated, they were overburdened, and they still remained unbreakable.
Somebody tells a lie, disrespecting my boundaries.
They told us to be quiet and we became the music. They told us to step back and we led the march. I've lived through 7 decades of history, and if there's one thing that I know for certain, it's that the backbone of the world is a Black woman who refuses to break. So today, we aren't just looking at a timeline here. We're looking at our DNA, from the fire of Angela Davis to the soul of Nina Simone. We're tracing the path of icons who taught us how to rise up. And if you ever felt the weight of the world, then this video is your reminder of the power that you carry. We're going to be talking about those women whose names spark pride and sometimes debate, the ones whose courage changed the future of Black culture, whether people were ready or not. So in the 60s and the 70s, the world tried to box us in, but then there was Angela Davis. She wasn't just a scholar, she was a symbol of defiance. She showed us that being controversial is often just the price that you pay for being right. Her activism taught Black women that our intellect is a weapon and our freedom is non-negotiable. Angela Davis became a symbol of resistance and radical thought, especially in an era where Black women were expected to be silent, grateful, and manageable. But she stood in the fire publicly. And whether someone agrees with every political idea or not, you cannot deny what she represents. A Black woman insisting that her mind belongs to her. That's powerful, because one of the biggest fights for Black women has always been the right to be seen as fully human. Not just caretakers, not just labor, not just strong, but complex, brilliant, angry, joyful, soft, and fierce, sometimes all at once. Black women don't owe anyone a performance of perfection. Then we have the women who gave our pain a melody and our hope a voice. Nina Simone didn't just sing, she roared. She told us that young, gifted, and Black was an identity, not just a song. Nina wanted to be a classical pianist, but the world had different plans for her. When she was denied a scholarship because of the color of her skin, she took that pain and she turned it into a revolution. Songs like For Women gave a face to our diverse struggles, and To Be Young, Gifted, and Black became our national anthem.
They wanted me to be the first Black classical pianist in America, for there were none. And there still aren't, really. This has nothing to do with the great jazz masters, but the Black people in America only have one. and his name is Andre Watts, and they don't completely accept him because his mother or his father was German.
Nina taught us that an artist's duty is to reflect the times, even when the reflection is uncomfortable. And Maya Angelou, well, she took the caged bird and taught it how to sing so loud the whole world had to sit up and listen. Now, Maya was the woman who found her voice after years of silence. From being a streetcar conductor to a civil rights coordinator for Dr. King, she lived 1,000 lives in one. Her poetry, like Still I Rise, isn't just words on a page. It's a rhythmic survival guide. She taught us that we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated.
But the nobleness of the human spirit, that we rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise.
These women proved that our insecurity is actually our greatest strength. We often hear about the quiet strength of Rosa Parks, but let's be clear, there was nothing quiet about her courage. So in 1955, her refusal to give up her seat was a calculated act of resistance that ignited the Montgomery bus boycott. But before Rosa, there was Claudette Colvin, a 15-year-old girl who actually did it first. History often overlooks the young and the unpolished, but Claudette reminded us that you don't need a title to start a movement. Claudette was young, she was defiant, and she was unfiltered.
This morning, we are remembering civil rights legend Claudette Colvin. She died yesterday, and she was 86 years old. Colvin was just 15 when she was arrested in 1955 for refusing to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama. She, along with pioneers, the names we know, Rosa Parks, helped inspire the movement that changed the world for millions of Americans. For 86 years, Claudette Colvin was a living symbol for equal rights. It was March 2nd, 1955. Colvin and three friends were riding in the back of a Montgomery bus after school. She spoke with David Begnaud back in 2021 about the experience.
I was sitting in the session that was allowed for colored people, and this white lady came. The bus driver demanded for the 4 seats.
So 3 of them got up?
Yes.
And you refused?
So I refused, because this wasn't an elderly white lady, this was a young white lady. I said I could not move because history had me glued to the seat.
Her courage was real, but the world didn't want the complication of who she was. And there's a lesson in that for Black women today. Sometimes the world doesn't ignore you because you're wrong. Sometimes it ignores you because you are just too real. So ask yourself, how many times have you been told to tone it down when you were just telling the truth? These women taught us that our bodies have the power to stop an entire system in its tracks. Long before the world knew the names of men who invented rock and roll, there was a Black woman with an electric guitar and a spirit that couldn't be contained. That woman was Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She was a gospel singer who pushed the boundaries of music, blending the sacred with the soulful. She's the reason that the music we love today sounds the way that it does. She taught us that a Black woman can be the architect of an entire genre, even if the history books try to leave her name out of the credits. To Marsha P. Johnson. Marsha's story is not just LGBTQ history. It's Black history. It is community history. It is the history of who gets protected and who doesn't, who gets honored and who gets dismissed, who gets remembered and who gets reduced to a footnote. Marsha stood for the right to exist, boldly at a time when existing openly could cost you everything. And even today, so many Black women, straight, queer, trans, religious, non-religious, traditional, unconventional, are still fighting for that same basic dignity, to be safe, to be respected, and to be taken seriously. We cannot talk about rising above the noise without mentioning Marsha P. Johnson. She was a central figure in the Stonewall Uprising. Marsha was a self-identified street queen who fought for the rights of the most marginalized in our community. She lived a life of extreme challenge, yet she walked the streets of New York with her flowers in her hair and a heart full of revolution. She reminds us that Black womanhood is a broad and beautiful spectrum, and that none of us are free until all of us are free. So to the Black women that are watching this, I want you to look at your hands. They carry the strength of ancestors who picked cotton, the grace of mothers who raised nations, and the brilliance of daughters who are curing diseases. We are often told that we have to be twice as good and get half as much. We are expected to be the strong Black woman for everyone else while our own hearts are heavy. But I'm here to tell you that your rest is a revolution. Your joy is an act of defiance. Don't let the rhetoric of the world make you feel small. When you see another sister winning, please don't feel jealous. Feel empowered, because when one of us rises, the floor rises for all of us. We are not just survivors here. We are the architects of the future. Be proud of your hair, be proud of your skin, and most importantly, be proud of your soul. Somebody watching right now needs to stop negotiating with disrespect. Black women supporting Black women is not just a slogan. It's a survival strategy. It's protection, and it's a legacy. Black history did not move forward because Black women waited politely. It moved forward because Black women decided that their dignity mattered more than other people's comfort. When you look at Rosa Parks and Claudette Colvin, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, Marsha P. Johnson, Angela Davis, Nina Simone, Maya Angelou, you'll see different paths, different beliefs, different styles, and different kinds of courage. But the common thread is this: they didn't wait to be validated. They didn't ask permission to matter. They created impact anyway. Walk away from this video with a little more urgency about your self-respect. Not tomorrow, not one day, now. So here's my closing message. Black History Month is not just about remembering the past. It's about reclaiming the truth. And the truth is this: Black women have always been the architects of culture, whether the world gave them credit or not. I want to thank you for stopping by The Occasional Commentary. And if you found any value in this video, please don't forget to consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.